yourself the gold medalists of the Troll Olympics. I had my doubts about all of this. That was until I spoke with one of the top creative directors and internet artists in the world, who is an expert of internet culture, 4chan, and trolling. An artist who has worked with Kanye West, Grimes, and Tame Impala, among other creative projects that you've definitely seen. January 2022, a website goes live called GordonGoner.com. Signed at the very bottom was the signature of Ryder Rips. Ryder Rips is eccentric and is a trendsetter in every regard. He created the Deal With It meme, Dump FM, Internet Archaeology, and V-Files. When it comes to the
Friend of the show? Wait, is this a friend of the show? Oh, Grimes is a friend of the show. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know Ryder Rips.
internet, Ryder Rips is one of the most innovative artists of our generation. It's no secret that he uses internet culture and the nature of trolling to amplify his artistic messages. If there's anyone to educate others on iconography and the meaning behind art, it's Ryder Rips. And if I happen to be the founders of an NFT project manipulating the masses into asserting value on racist imagery, I would not fuck with him. For the past 6 months, Ryder Rips and other researchers have collected all of the data and sources that highlight Bored Ape Yacht Club's successful but depraved continued stunt. And I say continued because they still operate unchecked. 4chan is the gutter of the internet. Founded in 2003 by 15-year-old Christopher Moot Poole, this message board serves as a place where internet culture is born, discussed, and destroyed. Users on 4chan typically post as anonymous or anon, as they argue the identity of
Most of the stuff you obviously already know because you're brain broken and you probably have lived in those spaces for some time now. But also keep in mind that this video itself is actually for the Norman, the average regular person with a non-broken brain. You know what I mean? With no underlying severe mental illness or anything like that. Mental illness induced by being on the internet for too long. Okay? That's why he's describing 4chan.
To conversations at hand. But the collective anonymous culture of the message board has devolved into a degenerate pit of despair. Along with anonymous identities, there is virtually no moderation. As a result of this, threads on 4chan spiral into some of the weirdest and most disturbing rabbit holes on the internet. So why even post? Well, as Ryder Rips described to me, trolling is a sport on 4chan. This point alone is necessary in understanding the motive behind Bored Ape Yacht Club. Throughout the internet's history, 4chan has been responsible for trolling mainstream media endlessly. One classic example of this was when 4chan tricked mainstream media into thinking the OK hand symbol signified white power. The media ran with it, and as a result, actual white supremacists adopted it as their own.
I was just about to say, like, they literally did the white power as a meme, and then actual white supremacists started using it. Like, they turned it into, like, an actual thing. And they do this all the fucking time.
An internet joke that illuminated a problem with mainstream media, their willingness.
I mean, also, who can forget, I don't know, QAnon, which quite literally was created in 4chan, in a message board where people would act like they had, security clearances and talk about conspiracies and shit. QAnon is another, like, lol, white power moment. You know what I mean? It straight up is just fucking 4chan roleplay that boomers, unfortunately, got access to, and it broke their fucking brains even further.
To post anything was taken literally, and the meaning of the joke.
No, Q wasn't 8chan first. Q started off in 4chan and then quickly moved on to 8chan. No, QAnon originally started at 4chan and then went over the 8chan.
Changed forever. Another example of this is comedian Sam Hyde being the ghost of Kiev. Lastly, let's talk about the benefit of the doubt. Imagine all of what I'm about to tell you is one giant coincidence. Somewhere along the grocery list of examples of Bored Ape Yacht Club being one massive alt-right
Bro, Tucker Carlson's a bigger comedian than that motherfucker, bro.
Joke is a point at which these similarities are no longer coincidences. Let's call this the tipping point. If I bring up one instance that highlights deliberate Nazi, fascist, or alt-right messaging, you may think to yourself, I see it, but that's a reach. So I ask you, what is your number? At what point do all of these examples become crystal clear in front of your eyes? For me, it was just one. First, let's talk about the apes as a whole. You don't have to look far on social media to see that many people believe the apes in Bored Ape Yacht Club are inherently racist looking. Remember, they could have picked any animal, object, or thing to make an NFT project. Monkeys? Really? It seems a bit random, but we're dealing with deliberate messaging. This is not a mistake. This is Damon Dash, the founder of Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z.
And then, I don't know if that monkey thing is like, because what's the biggest NFT?
The ape.
Don't you think that's a little condescending to our culture in a little bit?
We was just talking about that.
I feel like, is that a way a nerd is trying to get cute and laugh at us?
We was just talking about that.
Because either way, you should tread lightly with monkey as it relates to our culture, because it's a trigger for us. And they keep doing it. So first I wasn't like, and then I was like, why is everything a gorilla or an ape or a monkey? Why ain't it a penguin or like a panda bear or something? Why is it something that's been used to, disrespect us for years? So I don't know,
Yeah.
And when language is difficult for a creative, that leaves a lot of room for exploitation. So that means a lot of people that can understand may take advantage of those creators that don't want to understand.
Do you guys realize for the last 2 years, they got black people to invest in monkeys and dogs while making fun of us and taking our money from us? But Doge was going to the moon. When y'all get done, go look at Bored Ape Yacht Club and go see the imagery of how it's connected to Nazism. It's damn near the same imagery, but they know we won't study long enough to say, and now look how many billions of dollars they made off of us and our culture, and then the music industry gonna come in with more NFTs and continue to rob us. All we need is us.
The reason people have made this conclusion is because of something called simianization. This refers to comparing ethnic groups to an ape or monkey. Simianization has been used throughout history to put others down in order to dehumanize them. You will see exactly how Bored Ape Yacht Club uses simianization to convey racist themes and undertones. But first, we must understand the culture in which these apes were born. In 2021, Bored Ape Yacht Club was launched on April 30th. Which is the exact day that Hitler died. The launch of Bored Ape Yacht Club was actually on the 23rd with a week-long pre-sale, and they sold out before the 30th. However, they made it a point to tell the New Yorker that it was the 30th. I have shown this picture to various artists. This is Bored Ape Yacht Club's main logo that they use across all of their branding and social media accounts. Not too bad, right? How about now? Most of them laugh uncomfortably in sheer disbelief. The audacity to do this is mind-blowing. It does not take a genius to see that this Bored Ape Yacht Club logo is a direct copy of the Totenkopf. The skull and bones represents death and was used by both Prussia and Nazi Germany as a military emblem representing death heads. I only mention Prussia because that will play out later when we examine some of the Bored Apes. Both logos also have 18 teeth. If you're unfamiliar, the alt-right white supremacists and neo-Nazis love alphanumeric code. The number 18 is a symbol of hate.
Yeah.
More specifically,
Adolf
it's
Hitler.
alphanumeric code for the initials of Adolf Hitler. 1 being A, 8 being H. One thing to note is that both logos also have a rough edge, which is uncommon in circular emblems. It's just another characteristic that demonstrates they knew what they were copying. Bored Ape Yacht Club was created by a company called Yuga Labs. Like everything in this project, the name has meaning. A little bit about us to start off the new year and what's coming. What's the inspiration behind the name Yuga Labs? We're nerds, and Yuga is the name of a villain in Zelda whose ability is that he can turn himself and others into 2D art. It made sense for an NFT company. When I heard this, I was confused. I've played just about every Legend of Zelda game, and I could not remember for the life of me who Yuga was. You see, Yuga is a boss in The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, the 17th installment of the Zelda franchise available only on the Nintendo 3DS. If you're a self-proclaimed nerd or gamer, you wouldn't source your name from the most obscure Zelda game ever, let alone a game for the 3DS. Everyone knows that Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and even Breath of the Wild are the greatest games in the franchise. I could believe Ganon Labs, after the main antagonist throughout the entire series, Ganondorf, but Yuga? I'm not buying it. There is a specific reason they pick the name Yuga.
I mean,
On Yuga Labs' website,
fucking...
they pay homage to another project called the Hash Masks. This project was made by a Swiss company known as Suumkuik Labs. This phrase, meaning to each their own, was on the gate of the Buchenwald concentration camp. This phrase was also used on the face of Prussian helmets, and Yuga Labs loved Suumkuik so much that they even took their exact terms of service. Yuga has an entirely different meaning. The phrase Kali Yuga stems from Hinduism, and it refers to an age of...
It's the classic, it's the Joe Rogan meme, chat. Like, that's what this is. The Kali Yuga is like what fucking... This is so... he's right. This is incredibly esoteric shit. Like... It's so fucking incredibly, like, deep cut memes that when you actually are, like, trying to craft an argument around like the symbolism, you come across like you're fucking crazy. You know what I mean? But it's also basic 4chan. That's why he started off by showcasing the OK sign, and it's like, and how it was originally a 4chan meme as like a white power meme, but then that was like adopted by like actual white supremacists. But that's just how fucking Nazis are. They love esoteric shit. Like, they straight up love it. Like, this is, you know, this kind of like symbolism. And the more like normal conservative you are, and the more you move away from fascism, the more you get to like, let's go Brandon. You know what I mean? The average conservative says, let's go Brandon, is like, instead of fuck Joe Biden, they say, let's go Brandon, right? Nazis are like 7 layers deep. They're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a Kali Yuga meme and shit like that.
If not, hope it gets better.
That's why you have like, it's made you so, it made so you sound paranoid. Yes, exactly. But also it's like a very good, like, you know, notice what I'm saying. It's just a way to signal to, it's a very good way to signal to other fucking deep cut racism nerds, exactly what you're trying to say. Like 18 is a good example of this, or using something that is like a version of the totem Kolf is a good example of this. Those are a little bit easier to understand. But to the average, to the Norman, you're like, what the fuck is that? 18? It's just probably a random coincidence. The fuck? But to the more, even a little bit more interested parties, 14 and 88 are recognizable. 14 and 88 are recognizable numbers for Nazis. If you see a 14 or an 88 or a 1488, you know the person that you're talking to is a, you know, is a Nazi.
Conflict or darkness.
What is the period we're in now? Because it seems like it's coming to an end.
This is Kali Yuga, man. This is some weird shit that was predicted by the Bhagavad Gita. This is
Gudur Damarong, Battle of the Gods,
Yeah.
Ragnarok. Tell me.
This is what happens in cultures. Like, they go through these
14 is 14 words. For those of you who don't know, 14 is the 14 words, okay? It's a common white supremacist slogan that is basically their credo and their overall goals. It's a white supremacist slogan, which is exactly 14 words, and it reads as, "We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children." It's 14 words. It was coined by David Lane, who was a part of a white supremacist terror group known as the Order, and that is what the white supremacist worldview is. They want to create a future for white children, specifically white children. Not David Blaine, David Lane. Lane. The more common and mass adopted, popularized usage of the 14 words is, of course, commonly known as the Great Replacement Theory. Something that originally was talked about in white supremacist circles and, you know, Klan rallies and whatnot, and now is very clearly discussed out and about on the Tucker Carlson broadcast. By the way, under Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, who is a white supremacist, like straight up is a white supremacist, would do like little trolly things like this. Like they would write white nativist immigration policies. And, you know, sometimes the DHS would put out, "We must secure the border and build the wall to make America safe again." That's not 14 words, though. This is 15 words for the record. Isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, no, that's 14 words. Never mind. It's 14 words, and it starts with, "We must secure." Really cool, fun stuff, dude. Love little like you know, LARPing trolling in my Department of Homeland Security PR pieces, you know, press releases.
Pitches, these ups and downs.
The earliest mention of this phrase in internet culture was on September 11th, 2014, by an anonymous user on 4chan, in response to people being upset over Gamergate. Anon replied, "I know it is dark at times, but you just gotta learn to enjoy it, man. Embrace being the bad guy. Surf the Kali Yuga." Since then, the phrase spread like wildfire among the alt-right. First, it was made into a t-shirt by Vincent Vauquelin, who founded the French Dissent, an alt-right political party that operated from 2011 to 2021. Apparently, alt-right meme merch went hard, and the new design of the shirt in 2016 featured a toting cough. And in 2019, a Telegram group called Kali Yuga Surfing Club was created. See anything weird here? The Kali Yuga is one of the cornerstones of traditionalist ideology that was preached by René Guénon, a French occultist and philosopher who is credited for introducing the Kali Yuga to the West. During his life, Guénon moved to Egypt, became Muslim, and preached traditionalism, which consisted of extreme anti-Semitism and an admiration for ancient society.
Bro, that is the most French shit I've ever seen, dude. Oh my God. Anti-Semitism? Oh, dude. Oh, that's so incredibly French, dude. If he also fucking makes if he also closes the fucking circle with you know, abolishing age of consent laws, I'm done. I'm done with the video. I can't watch the rest of it. It's just too much, okay? French philosophers, don't be fucking weird challenge. Impossible difficulty.
Societies, which included hierarchies of class and gender. Guénon and Italian-born Nazi sympathizer Julius Evola are both revered and memed on 4chan. You'll find threads in the literature and political boards placing these two on a pedestal and recommending their works for a sense of woke pseudo-intellectualism.
Bro, you know what's really funny? It's like, well, what's really funny is the top of the hour ad break coming at 4:40 instead of the 4:30, because we're doing half of the, you know, middle of the hour ad breaks now. And what's of course not funny is having to watch those ads. But if you're like, "Oh man, fuck that, I don't want to watch those ads," well then don't worry, you can just subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay, by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Or you can also
go back to the document and control
or
plus F88.
You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Okay? But not everyone's lucky. The middle of the hour shit's fucking up my flow, bro. Yeah, I know. I've been switching up on them, you know what I mean? That's on purpose. That's deliberate. Yeah, Kento, thank you for the 5, get the subs. This is a really good video so far. I forgot what I was gonna say. God damn it. Sometimes I have a really good point that I'm about to make. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. They're such fucking racism nerds, dude. Like, the entire, like, neo-fascist movement, especially on the internet, is actually no different in many ways than your grandfather's fucking clan meetings, right? Like, they're so racist that they have to, like, literally find new and, like, weird ways of being racist because, like, regular vanilla American racism is not enough. You know what I mean? It's not enough to just be like, oh yeah, black people, I don't like them. You have to, like, find, like, nerdier ways of being like, well, this French philosopher also invented a different kind of anti-Semitism. It was more powerful than the prior version of anti-Semitism. It's like, dude, what's wrong with you, dude? Like, how desperate are you to come across as, like, different that you just have to, like, find new ways? Like, you're looking deep into coming up with new ways of being fucking racist.
Often messages will be left with PBUH, which means peace be upon him, a common Arabic phrase. You see, surfing the Kali Yuga manifested itself on Pole. It became a repeated phrase and dog whistle among users. In fact, embracing the darkness, or surfing the Kali Yuga, is a phrase that the alt-right has adopted in order to communicate a sense of collective. This might melt your brain, but stay with me. It's impossible to show the masses exactly what the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club are doing without understanding Chan culture, or how 4chan acts as a think tank and hive mind. One of the worst aspects of Chan culture is pseudo-intellectualism. What you have is a bunch of trolls who haven't seen the light of day, that have collectively convinced themselves they are based, woke.
For the record, like, I mean, there are forward-facing elements of this on Twitch as well. So, well, maybe not so much on Twitch anymore, but because a lot of them do get banned. But especially on Reddit, like, there is Reddit in many ways operates as like the public-facing version of this kind of fucking mental illness.
And have the answers to this world. They find solace in knowing specific information compared to normal people.
And the thing is, like, when you're in it, you think it's so fucking cool. Like, you think you're in on something.
No more ads, woo.
The cope they use that 4chan is unfiltered and without upvotes and such. The point is, like, when you're in this space, you probably are so fucking guided by the memes and like by I don't know what the psychological term would be for it, but when you're in a fucking club, you basically operate within that microcosm. When in fact, you're just like a dork. You know what I mean? And in the real world, most people would look towards you as like a gigantic mega dork. And you're stuck in that echo chamber where you personally think you're like going further and further into to like deep cuts and knowledge that is unforeseen for so many other people. Knowledge that is like so scary for other people to even comprehend. And it's just like, it's not. You're just literally doing textbook racist, grandfather racist shit. You just have like a new pseudo-intellectual patina on top of it. But it's still the same old racist shit. And for most people, you know, from the outside, they look at you and they think you're a fucking weirdo. You're not involved in a cool secret club. Literally, the they don't know dance club meme? Yeah, exactly.
Or normies. This is why it's considered esoteric. As a result of this, you have pockets of deranged people who study old texts, scriptures, and societies in order to extract archaic values and worship them. The founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah, to find out who rules you, just look at who you can't criticize in society. Children with cancer. I love that. Every time we talk about 4chan, there's always another motherfucker who's like, yeah, actual 4chan are here. Not all bards are bad. Everyone thinks 4chan is just pole. Not saying there isn't toxic shit. There's tons. But there's a lot to 4chan. A lot more to 4chan than just racism. Okay, bro. Like, have fun then. I mean, I don't even like Reddit. So, like, you're not going to solve me. You're not going to fucking win me over on the 4chan shit, okay?
A cob.
Go outside, bro. I promise. Like, it's fine. It's gonna be all right.
Club are terminally online, smart assholes. I hate to admit it. The founders are clever, and I mean really fucking clever. The 4 founders are Gordon Goner, Emperor Tomato Ketchup, Gargamel, and No Sass. You may be wondering, why do they all have obscure Xbox Live gamer tags? Well, if you think this is innocent, you're not ready for this. Number 1, Emperor Tomato Ketchup, Karim Adelaide, software engineer. On the surface,
fucking
Emperor...
Simply built
Jesus
different.
Christ. Can we get like one fucking dub this year, bro? Really? Really? Can we get one fucking dub this year? Like, honestly, please. Why? Why is it like this, bro? This year's been so bad for the Turks. I swear to fucking God. Masadayız abi. Ulan masa götümüze girdi amına koyayım. Baksana. Allah'ım ya Rabbim. Niye böyleyiz abi? Niye böyleyiz ki? Kerem Atalay bir de. Daha da Türk olamazdı ismi yani herifin. İnanamıyorum.
Brain tumors.
He's Greek, bro. Don't worry about this, bro. He's Greek, bro.
Tomato Ketchup sounds like a Fortnite skin. In reality, Emperor Tomato Ketchup is the name of a 1971 film that is banned across the world for containing child pornography. It's about children overthrowing adults and establishing their own supremacy, in which a young boy in a fascist uniform sexually assaults a grown woman. And if you were to ask Tomato himself, he would say he got the name from a Stereolab album, which got its name from the film. Another example of plausible deniability. Number 2, Gargamel. Greg Solano, MFA in writing. If anyone is familiar with the Smurfs, then the name Gargamel might ring a bell. Gargamel is the antagonist who turns sentient beings into money. He is widely known as an anti-Semitic depiction of a Jewish stereotype. And as Ryder Rips pointed out, 4chan also uses the term Gargamel to describe Jewish people. A reoccurring theme that you'll notice is that this entire umbrella of Bored Ape Yacht Club trolling stems from 4chan behavior, which is based on inserting enough absurdity to create plausible deniability. Gargamel is smart, but he's a little sloppy. According to his Reddit post history, he posted a 4chan crypto meme before Bored Ape Yacht Club was even live yet, confirming that he's at least aware of the culture or uses 4chan. Greg Solano, or Gargamel, was a literature major in college and wrote his thesis paper on 2666, which is a book that takes place in Nazi Germany with a main character named after Nazi SS doctor Hans Reiter. He even expressed on his now defunct blog that he wanted to write a fiction novel that blends real history with imaginative events, which is similar to Roberto Bolaño's 2666. This could be a stretch, but I'm reminded here of your writing backgrounds. Do you think there's any parallel between your big conceptual breakthrough to design NFTs for what—
I don't know about that though. He's an MFA dude. Like, you know, isn't this what they fucking do? Like, 2666 was against the Nazis. What the fuck? Bro, that book was on the New York Times top 10 books of 2008. Mega Reach is not a pro-Nazi book. It doesn't matter if it's the Nazis, they'll still take it and twist it into something they can identify around. The writer of 266 Bolaño wrote a book mocking Nazi literature. I'm confused what you meant earlier about French philosophers being anti-Semitic. That the consent laws, things like if Sartre wrote a whole book attacking anti-Semitism. No, there's a lot of anti-Semitism in France, though. That's what the joke was. Anyway, let's continue.
Interest you, not some target demo, and the idea that in writing, sometimes the best stuff comes from channeling what you really want to see, not what some theoretical reader wants. Gargamel says, ever since the Bored Ape Yacht Club, we've seen like 1,000 different avatar collections come up, and a lot of them are really cool. But what we think was special, and what people could kind of read on top of ours, is that we didn't just throw 3D glasses onto apes. And we didn't have a long essay on exactly what this was, but we knew what it was. It's like Wittgenstein's let the unutterable be conveyed unutterably, or Hemingway's iceberg theory. We knew what
You know what's really funny about this? I mean, they did do that. That is exactly what they did. You know what I mean? Like the deep cut esoteric shit might be on background, like about, you know, Nazi memes or whatever. But like that, ultimately at the end of the fucking day, it's literally just copy paste, you know, ape photos with like minor tweaks on it. It's the same exact thing as every other NFT is and was. I don't even know what the fucking the value of like the Basie stuff is now. Can't make fun of this guys. Must I hate NFTs because I bought AMC? Okay.
this world was and why the apes are this way, and that somebody else might get a little tingle on their neck looking at it, thinking, yeah, this is kind of different. This isn't just random. In this interview, Gargamel literally just confirmed that Bored Ape Yacht Club is his medium for creative writing. First, the quote is cryptic, but it makes a lot of sense given the context of this project. Let the unutterable be conveyed unutterably. Dog whistles, hidden meanings, fiction writing. Nah man, they're just apes with 3D glasses. You don't understand crypto. In this statement, Gargamel quotes Ludwig Wittgenstein, an Austrian Jewish philosopher believed to have been the boy who went to school with Adolf Hitler from 1903 to 1904. According to writer Kimberly Cornish in The Jew of Linz, she alleges that Hitler alludes to a Jewish boy who is believed to be Wittgenstein in Mein Kampf. Wittgenstein's entire body of work consists of cipher, cryptology, and solving puzzles. Similar to how Bored Ape Yacht Club is one massive puzzle designed to be cracked for the sole purpose of stroking their twisted fanfiction writing boner. Second, he states Hemingway's iceberg
That's the real Elwig, dude. Sorry.
theory, which describes exactly what they're doing. Iceberg theory itself is also a 4chan meme. Greg Solano also has written a book titled The Cinematic Art of World of Warcraft. To say he isn't a sucker for fantasy would be a flat-out lie. We know that Gargamel is a creative fantasy writer. We know that he wrote his thesis paper on a Nazi story. And we know that he wanted to create something similar, blending real and fake events. He literally quoted Ludwig Wittgenstein and iceberg theory, confirmed that there is hidden meaning, and that everything is deliberate in Bored Ape Yacht Club. Prior to Bored Ape Yacht Club, Greg Solano even stated he wanted to create a Lovecraftian themed
Why'd you say
NFT
at Asmongold? Explain yourself. The fuck did Asmongold do? What?
project. And if you know anything about Lovecraft, he was a notorious white supremacist, often weaving his prejudices as the basis for his stories. The frustration that Ryder Rips and others have felt, myself included, with the public's perception of this criticism is immense. You can't begin to educate people on this when they're too ignorant to realize that they're being played. Bored Ape Yacht Club, in a way, is a social experiment in making fun of people who are easily influenced. Crypto bros and everyone who sucks off technocrats included. It is a commentary on the number going up forever, or the wag me crowd, which lives by the slogan, we're all going to make it. This is a very real sentiment shared by thousands of people on the internet, which the founders of this project have profited off of immensely. All it took was celebrity worship, proper funding, fueled by a dystopian political agenda to get fascist propaganda on the world stage. Let me be clear, I'm not saying buzzwords just to say them. This is what's happening. 3. Gordon Goner, or Wiley Aronow, also a creative writer. The third founder of Bored Ape Yacht Club goes by Gordon Goner, the same name Ryder used for the website, piecing this all together. This was done for SEO purposes, so that when you type in Gordon Goner on Google, Ryder's website pops up first. In an interview with Wiley from 2014, he stated, "The only book that I don't like is Mein Kampf, but I haven't read it." When asked innocently about books, he resorted to making Hitler jokes. Yeah, there's probably nothing to see here, right? This is just more proof that Wiley's attempt at edgy humor dates
Bro, I just feel, I don't know. I mean, I already hate cryptocurrency and like way before we even arrive at like this Nazi shit. But I could totally see these dudes just being like fucking nerds that are trying to make like edgy jokes. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're like I just I don't know how like Bored Ape Yacht Club is going to fucking bring about like the new era, the new Reich. You know what I mean? I think at a certain point it is too esoteric to legitimately make leeway. You know what I mean? No, of course the video is going to go deeper. We're 20 minutes in. I'm just working through this, okay? I'm working through it alongside of you. This is called live reacting to a video, okay? Hello? I'm giving you what my perspective is right now, okay? Calm down. How it works.
back to 2014. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Gordon Goner stated he chose the name because it sounded like Joey Ramone, lead singer of the Ramones. It should be known that Bored Ape Yacht Club's connection to the Rolling Stone is not random. It's through Neil Strauss, author of The Game, who is apparently writing about the subculture of Bored Ape Yacht Club.
King.
Gordon Goner is a full-phrase anagram for Drongo Negro. Drongo is Australian slang for stupid, and Negro means black. Drongo is also tossed around on 4chan and Reddit. It's not simply a random word. It is also conveniently a species of black bird. Another example of a hyper-specific double-meaning term or phrase in Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's not much else known about Wiley Arano, aka Gordon Goner,
I guess it's like too many coincidences for it to be like just all random happenstance. You know what I mean? It's not. It's just like way too many. I think they're, like I said, I think they're like 4chan nerds who LARP as like Nazis, and I don't really care about them regardless. Like I think they suck anyway. You know what I mean? Like they're like, even if they're like, the difference between them being like straight up Nazis versus like being fucking nerdy, like, oh, I'm just trying to be edgy because I like broke my brain on 4chan on poll, and now I literally fucking now I think that I'm like in on this like cool thing, and I'm just like pointing to it secretly, is nothing. It's the difference between either of those is just marginal ultimately, especially because, you know, they're doing crypto NFT shit, which I hate anyway, regardless. They're both tech lords and Nazis, so all they could do is all this because they're nerds. Yeah, I mean, still.
Besides loose leads that allege he's a crypto fascist, and his dad is literally Don Arano, portrayed by John Travolta in Speed Kills. Both Gargamel and Gordon Goner are writers and creatives, according to the CEO of Yuga Labs.
It's unintentionally spreading Nazi shit, though? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. You're crazy if you think that. No, it's like so insanely fucking, it is way too fucking, it is way too inside baseball, way too esoteric for it to be like, to legitimately be like spreading Nazi propaganda. Tucker Carlson spreads white supremacist, straight up fucking fascist propaganda every night. He's the most popular news broadcaster in this fucking country, and he does an incredible job at it. He is so remarkably good at spreading Nazi propaganda in a palatable way without ever saying that he's a Nazi. As a matter of fact, even sometimes saying Democrats are Nazis or Democrats are fascist. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's really good propaganda. This shit is just like a bunch of fucking nerds who I feel like are just like making fun of all the black celebrities and just like celebrities in general that buy into this shit that they've been able to successfully tap into by utilizing capitalism. Do you get it? I think this is a big deal because it starts with dog whistles and community building. I don't think you can be reductive about it. It's how you form groups. No, I just, no, that's a damn good thing. Thank you. Don Himmler did this shit. Brother, you cannot compare what these fucking dinguses are doing to Himmler. Are you fucking insane? No, dude. That's directional and focused and principled even, okay? What that is serving a fucking purpose. This is just like, oh, lol, just memes. You know what I mean? That's why I gave you the Tucker Carlson example. Tucker Carlson is doing it. These guys are just making money while also making fun of these fucking people that don't get it, while also pointing to the fucking, edgelord memes that they've been able to sneak into something, into like the popular lexicon, popular culture. That's how the alt-right started, just memes. Okay, dude, but there are memes and then there are fucking memes, okay? Some of them, some memes are directional. Like, a lot of, let's forget memes for a second. Let's not even talk about this from the framework of memes, but from the framework of propaganda. Okay? 14 words, or even like the reinterpretation of like white genocide, or defending white people, or classifying something as white is propaganda. Okay? Claiming that there's white people, white culture, and that needs to be defended is propaganda, and it's very successful propaganda. Saying white power before it was recognized as like a calling card for white supremacists was propaganda. Saying all lives matter is a more contemporary version of the white power propaganda. How is that propaganda? They're taking emancipatory movements and using that language to defend their worldview and to make it seem to make it seem as though their worldview is not horrifically reactionary and outright violent, but instead it's like a defensible perspective. It's an honorable cause. Do you understand? That's directional propaganda with a sole purpose, with the sole purpose of spreading that idea to as many people as possible. Okay? That's how you do white nationalist propaganda. This stuff is just like so extreme that you need to read a fucking entire textbook on racism to even understand some of the things that they're even pointing to. Do you get it? They're just like a bunch of fucking bored, probably racist, maybe not even fucking racist, but like trying to be edgelordy nerds that peppered in this shit into their otherwise, unfortunately, incredibly successful capitalist endeavor. And now it's just like one big in-joke that made them $1 billion fucking dollars. You get it? Like, it's not like the Bored Ape Yacht Club is like saying we have to defend our future. They're not doing like 1350. Like, they're not. They're adding numerical references, but they're not actually fucking making a statement that would have any kind of staying power. They're not making any statement that actually would change anyone's minds. They're 100% racist. Do not equivocate on this. No, them being racist ultimately is completely irrelevant to like whether or not they are, whether or not they're able to get anything out of this that is like dangerous or scary, other than just like milk a bunch of fucking idiots for money. You get it?
Nicole Muniz.
Can you take me back to the origin story of Bored Ape Yacht Club?
It was almost exactly a year ago. Garga, who's one of the founders, texted Gordon with, hey, let's make a NFT. So Garga and Gordon were both really into crypto. They were really active in the community, but they are writers. That's actually their background. They are storytellers, they're creatives. And so like crypto was this thing that like they were fascinated by and they like loved, but they were never able to actively participate in. Like,
how much slurp juice do I need to use on my ape to make it less racist? You can't, brother. But the racism is the power, okay? The racism comes from the slurp juices. And honestly, I've been saying this, and people still don't understand that you can use 3 slurp juices on an ape, okay? And you
Slurp
get
juice.
3 different apes as a consequence of that. And people still don't understand it, dude. Fuck.
There's a barrier to entry,
Exactly,
right?
exactly, because it was technical.
Yeah.
And they're not technical. They're writers, they're creatives, they're storytellers. Like that's what
I think the funniest part about this is that, like, this motherfucker
They
got a
do.
master's in fucking fine arts. And the best thing that they could come up with is like some esoteric Nazi memes baked into a fucking literal copy-pasted ape, okay? And because our society is so fundamentally fucking broken under our capitalist existence, where they just want to fucking make money so desperately and looking for shortcuts so desperately, that like they cling on to this fucking thing. That's the greatest creative mark you have left on society is copy-pasted apes, dog. That's you honestly, I mean, video game yourself at that point. You know what I mean? You're an abject failure. Okay? If you care about the genuine creativity that you were bringing to the table, you have failed. You failed. You've done nothing. It's so sad.
do.
So it's entirely critical that you understand the context of
Okay, with
anything.
anyone who
So the
thinks
issue
that
with Bored
playmates
Ape Yacht
only
Club
want to
is
be
that they're not
vegetables
providing
still
any
to be
context.
treated
The
like
context that
trash
they've
they
provided
are.
is that literally it's meaningless. They said that these are just apes in a swamp who like drawing penises on a penis wall. That's the official story of Bored Ape Yacht Club from the mouth of Nicole, the CEO. Like, that's it. Like, end. Done. Like, there's nothing else.
They called me with like, hey, we're gonna do this thing, and like, you know, just explaining the idea. And I kind of giggled and was like, oh yeah, I mean, but people are just gonna draw penises. And that was it. Like, I was just like, I didn't think anything of it. We hung up, but like the stupid thing that I said that I never would have thought about
Right.
transformed into, well, what if they do draw penises?
Yeah.
And where do people draw penises? And, you know, it turned into, well, it's a bathroom.
Right.
You know, it's a toilet stall. And it's a dive bar. But it's not a dive bar. It's a yacht club that's a dive bar. But it's in a swamp. And it's gonna be this like future vision of Miami. And, you know, it's all of these like bored apes. And they just created this like story and this world.
Let's play a game.
This is like, what? What the fuck? What? Yeah, no, these are the storytellers of our generation, dude. You know what I mean? These are, wow, sounds great to me. I mean, respect. NFTs are all going to be a fart in the wind soon. Inshallah, inshallah, inshallah.
Name of I Spy. The cover of this Rolling Stone art is a direct reference to Hieronymus Bosch, who painted pictures like these in order to hide things in them. Spot the racist dog whistle.
The totem, I mean, what? Is it this? And then this? What is that?
Ape hands are a racist dog whistle, alluding to the practice of Belgian King Leopold II cutting off Congolese hands for
Oh,
punishment
Jesus
in not
fucking
working hard
Christ.
enough to produce rubber. The Congolese then started cutting off fellow African hands as it became a currency valuable to the Belgians in itself. Never underestimate the ability for Bored Ape Yacht Club founders to be this demented. Let's try this again. This is footage of the Bored Ape Yacht Club video game. See anything?
This is what I mean. It's like the funniest part about it is like their output sucks and it's so marginal. You know what I mean? Like their output is so fucking lame and like ultimately is not good. They boosted their fucking racism stats and then forgot the fucking, I don't know. They forgot the respec and put some into creativity. You know what I mean? This is why fascist art can only like try to copy like actual revolutionary or even like actual art. They can't do it. Like they're just they can't come up with anything on their own that's like new or different. They have no creativity.
Interesting? What's up with these bananas? Why is the bushel of bananas conveniently shaped like a swastika? 4. SAS, Zayshawn Ali, software engineer. The fourth founder of Bored Ape Yacht Club goes by SAS, and going off the theme of hidden meanings throughout their entire project, this is also deliberate. SA is the abbreviation for Sturmabteilung, and SS for the Schutzstaffel. SAS, or SASS, is the combination of the two primary Nazi military divisions. There are two possibilities that explain the behavior of the founders. Number one is easy. They